Hi, my name is Dr. Sarah Viera. I am a mixed animal general practitioner, veterinarian, who works in the upstate of South Carolina. I'm here to tell you a little bit about my typical day, the day of my life at the hospital. The good thing is that I really don't have a typical day. The days usually vary a lot. When I first get there in the morning, I'm usually checking over patients that have either been hospitalized overnight for an illness or for surgery and just need a little bit more time in the hospital. When I check in on them and make sure hopefully that they're ready good enough to go home, I call their owners, give them updates on what happened, and get the patients ready to go home. I also then start seeing appointments for the day and what we call drop-offs, and people drop off their pets to be seen. Now, appointments can vary from regular physicals, annual physicals, to vaccinations of new puppies and kittens that people have, always our favorite, and also just sick patients not feeling well. Towards the latter end of the day, we start our surgeries. The most common surgeries that we do are spay and neuters. Spay and neuters do decrease the number of unwanted pets at the animal shelters, so spays and neuters are a very important everyday aspect of our job in a veterinarian's life. Other surgeries can be removing masses or growths. Another common surgery I do is removing things that animals have eaten that they shouldn't have, that may be stuck in their stomachs and intestines. Also repairing broken bones and injuries from animals that have been hit by cars or have been attacked by other animals. That's also another common thing. Then I also do dentals pretty much every day. And just like us, dentals are a very important part of a dog and cat's wellness. So we do those daily. After that, and throughout the day, I usually do some farm calls, meaning I get my vet truck filled with my vet equipment and go to someone's farms. Mostly I see horses, but sometimes sheep and goats. Mainly for horses, I'm writing paperwork so they can go to shows. Redoing their annual vaccinations, taking care of any ones that are lame or sick, and also doing dentals on horses too, as that is also a very important part of their health, their annual health exams. And then I go back to the clinic and I finish up my records and finish up all my notes, checking any patients that I might have, and then hopefully make it home for dinner with my family. Hi, I'm back again to tell you, with my psychic Danny, to tell you what you have to do to become a veterinarian. First of all, there's a lot of schooling involved. You graduate high school, you go to undergraduate college for 4 years, and you got to study a lot of sciences and maths. That means you have to really like physics, chemistry, biology, and definitely math. People don't think about math, but it's very important when it comes to calculating drug dosages or fluid rates and things like that. And then you really have to have a love for people, not just a passion for animals. Remember that every animal is going to come with some kind of person attached to it, whether it be the owner, or the animal's caretaker, or the supervisor, or whatever. And it's very important to learn to have a relationship with these people and to be able to get along with these people, because it's those people you're going to be explaining to about the disease and getting hopefully a plan prepared for the animal's health. So you typically go to 4 years undergrad, like I said, then 4 years of veterinary school when you get into veterinary school. And then after you graduate veterinary school, if you so choose, you can do 1 to 5 years of specialty training. But you don't have to do that. I myself graduated and went straight into general practice. So it's just for people who want to specialize in certain areas like surgery or internal medicine or radiology or something like that. So make sure you love school, like I said, people, and also work on your communication skills. It's very important as a veterinarian. Sometimes we don't always think about communication, but if you are really wanting an animal to have a certain treatment plan, you got to be able to communicate why that animal needs that treatment plan. So the best and worst parts of being a veterinarian. I'm going to start with the negatives, then we can go on to the positives. The negatives, as I'm sure you already know, is that you're not going to be able to treat everything, and sometimes you're just going to have to deal with a premature, end to a life, or deal with an animal's passing on, and that can be very moving because you become attached to the animal's owners sometimes. and become attached to the pet itself, especially if you've seen that pet a lot in your office through the years or the months. So that can be a very hard thing to deal with. Also, not all of our patients want to be treated. So you will get bitten, you will get scratched, you will get peed on, you will get pooped on, you will get kicked, you will get stepped on, and the list goes on and on and on. But you do learn to deal with that as, you know, the years go on, and hopefully you've surrounded yourself with very good veterinary technicians and people and colleagues that are there to look out for your best interests and to help you out with that kind of things. Another negative thing maybe about the job is that people are very emotional when they come to their animals. And sometimes when they're very emotional about their animals, especially if things are not going well, they tend to take it out on the veterinarian or the employees of the hospital. And this can be very tough to deal with. But like I mentioned before, that's why it's very good not to only have skills dealing with animals, but people skills too. So you can learn how to deal with this when the time comes. And if you become a veterinarian, that time will come probably more often than you want it to come. So let's move on to the positives. What are the positives about being a veterinarian? First of all, you get to spend every day with animals. I mean, if you have a passion for animals, how can you not like that? You get, you know, your puppy and kitten vaccination visits. Those are going to be your favorite time of the day. Is visiting a newborn foal or being able to help bring a newborn calf into the world is very, very rewarding. Also, it's very challenging. Not every case is the same. So you have to work through cases, use a lot of creativity, ingenuity to sometimes diagnose a patient, and sometimes even use a lot of ingenuity and creativity to come up with a treatment plan with the owner. So every day has its own challenge. You're never going to have a typical day, and you're always going to be constantly learning throughout your life. That's why every year veterinarians have to go through something called continuing education. Another positive about the job is that you just get to meet a lot of amazing people, a lot of amazing animals. And the veterinary career itself is very flexible. Just because you graduate from veterinary school doesn't mean you have to practice medicine. Veterinary medicine, you can use it to become pharmaceutical sales, go into research, you can do government work, and the list goes on in that. So the best parts about the job is that if you decide that you just don't want to practice anymore, you can go on and do something else. And I'm going to leave on the positives. So as far as advice I have for people wanting to go into veterinary medicine, please work hard and do well in your grades in school. The application to go into veterinary school is extremely competitive, and only a small amount of people get accepted into veterinary school relative to the large amount. And a lot of times the admissions committees, use grades as a primary factor. But there's also another factor. Admissions committees into veterinary schools also want you to have a broad range of experience. That means while it's great to go out and volunteer at veterinary hospitals, get involved in other things, whether it be sports, camping, hiking, involvement in your community, singing, I don't know, whatever else floats your boat. Remember, if you get into veterinary school, you're going to have the rest of your life to spend with animals. So just go out and get other experiences. It really makes you a better applicant towards the admissions committee. Also, this is something else that I think every student who is thinking about going into veterinary medicine needs to know is that veterinary medicine, the road to get there can be quite costly. Meaning there's a lot of schooling, and most of the time that schooling is not going to be free. And a lot of veterinarians graduate with a lot of debt. Now, while we make pretty good money and salary, we don't make as much as our human medical doctor counterparts, but we come out with just about the same debt as they do. So that's a very important thing that everybody needs to know. Some veterinarians went ahead and did this, and they graduated with this debt, and they regret doing what they do. And we really don't want to see that happen further in the veterinary community. So please, if you're thinking about going to veterinary school, research this amount of debt you're going into. And if you're still okay with that, that's great. Go to veterinary school. I definitely wouldn't want to discourage you, but definitely make a business plan for you and your family. So when you graduate, you can think about repaying some of these, the school debt you're going to have to repay. And also, veterinary medicine is an amazing, amazing profession. It's an amazing, rewarding profession. And you can, the people I've met through veterinary medicine, my colleagues, veterinary medicine is actually a small community if you think about it in a large scale of things. And I have amazing colleagues. People have become my best friends. People that you will meet in vet school, that you will meet at veterinary conferences. We are here to help and support each other. And we are all brought together and bonded by that singularity love for animals and living and breathing things on this earth, and wanting to see us better the health of these animals. Well, so, okay, I hope I've really given you a lot of information for veterinary medicine, and I hope that, if you are thinking about it, that you will take some of these things I said into consideration. Have a great day.